I don't know if you've noticed, but lately I've been seeing a lot of ads for these Apple CarPlay and Android Auto screens that you can mount on your motorcycle um, to mimic the CarPlay that you have in your car, for example. And what they do is allow you to put your phone away, and you have this screen instead that kind of mimics the apps on your phone. Companies like Carpuride and Chigi have been putting out lots of ads, and we've been seeing lots of reviews from internet vloggers. And I decided, well, I'll take a plunge because I do like to ride with listening to music, as well as, of course, if I'm going on a long distance trip or something like that, I need navigation. I do have my BMW Navigator as well, but that has had issues in the past for a lot of people, including me. I have had my Nav 6 replaced once because of the screen going funky. So anyway, I decided to take a plunge, and I got a good price on a Carpuride. Now I went with the Carpuride 702B Pro, which is the very newest one. The B stands for BMW, so it comes with a BMW bracket, and 702 means it's got a 7-inch screen, and I guess it's got dual Bluetooth. I'm going to go through several of the different feature screens that they have on the website. And this video will actually go through all of the features that they tout that this thing is supposed to have, and whether it actually lives up to the hype. In this video, I'm going to do an unboxing, and then I'm going to go mount it on the bike, and then we're going to go through all the different features, like I said. But right on the box, it says IP67, so it's waterproof, CarPlay, Android Auto, and Bluetooth. This one here has dual Bluetooth, so it'll allow connection to two Bluetooth headsets. So my wife can also get connected to it, although she has absolutely no interest in getting connected anyway other than me, and even then she likes to turn me off every now and again. It says Bluetooth IP67 compatibility. It comes with I don't know if it comes with a card, but it supposedly can handle up to a 64 gigabyte card, handles voice controls and music. It comes in a plain old box, nice black box. They say the Chigi comes in a much nicer box, like an Apple iPhone. And I get a chuckle when I hear these guys talking about the box that the thing comes in. Who gives a damn about the box? I don't care about the box. Anyway, this one comes in a regular old box. It's nicely packaged. There's a foam insert here to hold the unit in place, I guess, and there's a nice thick foam cover to protect the screen, and there's the screen there. Now, this one here, it comes pre-attached with the BMW bracket on it. So one thing I should mention right now, the Chigi apparently works with the Wonder Wheel on the BMW, whereas this one here, the Carpuride, does not. It does not take advantage of that Wonder Wheel. So all the B means, or the BMW feature means, is that it's got this bracket. This bracket is supposed to go into the nav prep for the GPS on the bike. So yeah, there's the screen. It's got a little hood. I've seen this on the videos before. And the hood is not detachable. It's got a protective screen on it that I can peel off eventually. Inside the box, you've got some more stuff. And this wiring harness allows you to hook it up to a conventional bike. It comes also with this U-clamp that you can clamp onto your handlebars, and this Ram-style bracket that you can mount. Is there a ball? Yes, there's a ball inside this bag. So there's a ball here. So you can mount it onto this kind of a mounting system. I was wondering what was rattling inside this box. When I was shaking the box, there was something rattling, and I says, "Oh God, something is busted in there." But it comes with a little wrench and a little kind of a squeegee-like plastic tool. So let's get this out of the way, and we can lay it out on the table. You can see exactly what it is. Carpuride CarPlay manual. It's got these two little tools, like I said. It's got this little fuse, the wiring harness, a USB. You can connect it to your USB source, I guess. And there's the hardware to mount it on your handlebars. So that's basically it. The 702B doesn't come with a heck of a lot of things in it, but you can hook it up to a standard motorcycle or a BMW, a bike with a BMW nav mount, and both my bikes have that. So I'm going to put all this stuff away and have a quick look at the manual and see what's going on. BMW Motorcycle Bracket User Manual. There we go. It shows you right here how to, install that ball in lieu of the BMW bracket. Very, very nice. So it takes care of you in both situations. Well, as I was getting it ready to install on the bike, I noticed that there's a missing cover here. This here is the slot for the SD card, and this unit did not come with the cover that goes over the slot for the SD card, so it is not waterproof. I would suspect that the cover would be a blank version of what this is. This here is the on-off switch, and you need something, just a flat plate here with two screws in it, and it didn't come with that. I checked all of these bags here. It's not shipped loose in that, so I'm going to have to go and contact Carpuride support to get this. So this is my first disappointment with this unit. Well, I've got the Carpuride installed on the BMW using the BMW cradle, and it's just like mounting any other GPS in the GPS prep for the BMW. You just put it in, click it down, and lock it in place. I've got my fob here, so it's locked in place. So let's see how this pairs up. Now, in the case of the BMW, this is wired to come on with the ignition. The bike doesn't have to be running. So to pair this, you just set that up, click on Bluetooth, get to the phone, and okay, discover, searching. Right now the phone is actually trying to hook up with my remote. It says pair. As you can see, there's the passkey over there and here, and I just click on pair. Allow contacts and favorites sync. Allow. Comes up with this other one here, BT Trans. Use CarPlay. Yes. You don't hook that up the way I'm hooking it up. I'm hooking this, connecting this with the CarPlay as not the hub. So the phone is connected to the allow Carpuride to check for CarPlay apps. Allow. So yeah, I'm using my phone to connect to the Carpuride, and I'm connected with my phone to my headset, but my headset is not on right now. As you can see, Talk Bold is not connected at this moment. And just as easy as that is connected to Bluetooth. Car home, settings. According to the manual, it shows connecting to Bluetooth and then connecting to Wi-Fi. I don't know why you'd need the connection to Wi-Fi, but let us go ahead and do that right now. I'm connecting to Wi-Fi. Oh, it's already connected to Carpuride. Okay, so this phone is connected to the. Oh my God, I've got a lot of things open. It's connected to this Carpuride here via Bluetooth as well as Wi-Fi. Bluetooth channels. Let's go back, see paired list, and it's got my, and I can click on that to break the connection with the iPhone. CarPlay, good. Now I wanted to change the background of this CarPlay. I don't particularly like this colorful background. So I thought that this would be it. But, right, something like that. Maybe I have to change that background from the phone. But anyway, I'll do that separately. What I want to show now is that this is my writing position. So I'm holding this in front of my eyes. This is where I'd be riding the bike. As you can see, it only clips the very top. As a matter of fact, it doesn't actually clip the top of the display of the bike. Just a little bit of the speedometer, and I totally ignore the speedometer because if anybody knows me, I've got a little issue with the speedometer on the BMW. It is very optimistic by about 5-6 miles per hour, so I ignore that. If I'm looking for speed, I'll be looking for looking for the speed on the navigator. So there you have it. Click on Maps, and so that comes up. Messages. Let's see. Yeah. That comes up. So just like that, it's easy to connect on the RS, and everything is working good. So I'll just go over to the Tiger now and show you the installation there, because this Carpuride is actually bought primarily for the Tiger. I mean, there is nothing to say that I can't use it on the BMW if I go for a tour with the BMW. But for right now, it's primarily for use on the Tiger. So here it is on the BMW. Let's go see what it looks like on the Tiger. On the BMW, I've got the standard GPS prep, as you can see here. And this one is lockable via the key here. On the Tiger, we've got the BMW Navigator car mount. So it is not a lockable mount like on the RS. I don't want to spring for a lockable mount for this, although you never know. If this thing works out really, really well, maybe I'll splurge and get a GPS prep just for that lockable feature. But anyway, to put this thing on, you just make sure that it's lined up properly. And I don't know if you can see the top, but there's a button at the top there that is going to have to push down to make sure that this thing is snapped in place. And you just check it to make sure that it's in place. And it's got a little bit of a wiggle because it's this kind of a connection here. I've got this thick crossbar here, and I've got a U-shaped bolt mount here, and I've got a little short ram arm. And why don't I show it through the windscreen, eh? So you can see the whole setup here. I've got a U-bolt connection, short ram arm to the GPS mount. So that's what it looks like from the back. Now let's see what it looks like from on the bike. This is my normal seating position, and as you can see that there's a nice gap between the 7-inch Tiger display and the 7-inch Carpuride, so that's ideal. And then the phone is mounted here. On both bikes, I made sure that there was no interference between the phone mount and the Carpuride. And in this case, this is connected via the Heeltech Thunderbox. So the bike has got to be running. So I'm going to have to put down this camera for a second just to enable this starting procedure, because I've got to pull in the clutch and press the starter button. So I need a third hand. So here we go. It takes a while, and then that comes on. That comes on when the revs have smoothened out. And as you can see, it's coming on into CarPlay. Automatically, it switches over into CarPlay. So I can actually start using this right off the bat. The connection is there. Everything is live. So yeah, the only difference between this bike and the RS is that the powered connection to the GPS mount on that doesn't on the RS doesn't require for the bike to be on. This one requires the bike to be running because the Thunderbox makes sure that all of the current and the voltage required for starting is available. So all accessories connected to the Thunderbox are off until the bike is actually running and running smoothly. So there's a little bit of a delay here. So there you have it. The Carpuride is easily connected on both bikes. No interference problems and no problems seeing the dash. As a matter of fact, on the Tiger, this windscreen is pretty much in the lower position and as it is right now. So yeah, this is how it'll. This is the worst case for interference, and it doesn't interfere at all. As you can see, the Carpuride 7-inch unit is a good match for the Triumph screen. They're both 7-inch screens. I guess a 7-inch diagonal display area. If that's the case, then the Carpuride is a little bit bigger than the Triumph. On my mount, it does wobble a little bit, and I'm going over some train tracks now. And so yeah, but at least it's a low frequency wobble, so that shouldn't kill the screen. It should be rated for vibration anyway if it's a motorcycle unit. Going to the drugstore and pick up some prescriptions, and then I'll go have a play with this in the park. This is, of course, connected to my Heel-Tech Thunderbox, which means that the bike has to be on and running for it to get power in front. So that's a pain in the butt. So far it's working good now that it's all connected and nice and bright. Of course, today is an overcast day, as you can see. Lots of clouds in the sky, so no problems with visibility and direct sunlight on the screen. It's got that little sunshade, and that'll help a little bit, I guess. But if the sun is behind you, there is nothing is going to stop, the problem. Nobody in the drive-through, so I should be able to get in there and get out fairly easily. Just came back from a quick ride with the Carpuride in the driving rain. No problems. Happy to report that you passed with flying colors. I'm totally soaked right now. But it's a good test. Thumbs up for the Carpuride performing in the rain. So in conclusion of this first look video, I'm going to go through a few pros and cons that I have managed to put together so far. Obviously, this is not a full-blown review of the Carpuride 702B. So far, overall, it's been positive. For me, it's been a positive experience. I've had it for a few days now, and I've tested it. I've ridden with it a couple of times, and I can come up with a few pros and cons. Let's go through the cons first. I've taken a few notes here, and I'm going to go through those. I found that the zooming function is not as smooth as I would like, although the screen response is adequate. So the screen response when you're sliding, you're swiping from left to right, that's fine. When you're dragging things around, that's fine. It's not as smooth as my Apple iPhone, for example, but that takes some time to develop. And this is a fairly new company putting out this application, so I'm not surprised that it's not as smooth as my iPhone, but it's acceptably smooth. But what I did find is the pinch to zoom and the zoom out is not as responsive as, for example, even on my my navigator is a little bit better. So that one I say is a con. The SD card is limited to 64 gigabytes. And not only is it limited to 64 gigabytes, but the card has to be formatted to FAT32. Now, if you know anything about computers, the computers these days here, they're formatting disks to either exFAT or NTFS to get the right sector sizes and the right capacity sizes for the drives being offered right now these days. FAT32 is old and archaic, and I don't know why it requires FAT32. I'm going to do a little bit more of a review of that when remember the little SD card cover was not shipped with this unit. Well, I've since sent off for a card, and they apologized and they said we'll ship you one. Apparently, it's left the facility in China. I'm leaving on Saturday for a ride, and I told them this, but this thing has got to come from China. A little piece of plastic with two little screws. And that brings me to bulleted item number three, I should say, for a con. Assembly quality, shipped with no SD card cover. So that one I give it as a con. Their quality control should be better on shipping their units out with everything included, and I shouldn't have to bother to send off for one of these covers. So that ticked me off a bit. But when that cover comes in, then I'll peel off the weatherproofing that I've put on there. I've basically put a couple of little strips of rubber inside the gap. I put my card in there. I can't use my card. I put some electrical tape over it because, like I said, I'm going on this trip and I didn't expect that this thing is going to come in time. So for me to go and test this before I went on the trip, I had to cover it up just in case I get caught in rain. And guess what? I did get caught in rain. So it's a good thing I had that covered up. And the cover is actually working pretty good, the tape, the electrical tape. So so when that cover comes in, I'm going to peel my electrical tape off. I'm going to format it. I'm going to go through and show you how to do that because it's not straightforward to do it on a window. I've got Windows 11 here. It's not straightforward to do it on a Windows 11 machine. So I'm going to go through it, and then I'll put a video out how to do that, and also how this SD card might be used. I'm not convinced that it's needed, but I'm going to go through it anyway for you guys. The fourth con I have is the user manual. The user manual is printed in a nice glossy paper. The manual itself is physically good quality. But I found that the language in it was confusing, the Chinglish was confusing, and the organization of the manual was a little bit confusing. These guys, they need to hire a consultant or something to teach them how to write user manuals. This user manual was kind of next to useless. You just need to get the basics. You can probably get the basics from all of these YouTube videos and reviews on the Carpuride unit or the Chigi unit, and you can probably get it, get up and running with that better than you would with the manual. For example, a specific challenge is removing the bracket, the BMW bracket, and screwing that ball onto the back. Let's say I wanted to use it with a ram ball mount and not the BMW mount. There's no instructions how to do that clearly. And not only that, but the back of the BMW bracket does not have the screw visible. I expect that you probably have to take off that panel and you'll see the screw underneath. But the manual doesn't tell you about that. It's completely, it assumes that you're going to use this BMW thing only for BMW forever. So that's a con. The pros, what can I say? Large, bright, clear 7-inch screen. That is obviously the centerpiece of the whole unit. It's a nice big 7-inch screen. It's nice and bright. I have not had it in bright Texas sunshine with the sun shining behind me to wash out the screen. So I can't say whether I'll still be able to see it. But for now, it's bright as heck. And not only that, but it's got this nice auto dimming feature and it dims down acceptably well in the dark. So I'm pleased with that. Another big plus is the easy wiring connectivity with the interchangeable options. You just got to unscrew those connectors, pull it out, put in the next connector, screw it in, and you're ready to go. Very nice idea. I like that. That works really well. Like I said, I was able to connect it up to my CPAP battery and run the thing right in my office right here. And I couldn't do that so easily, swapping back and forth between the BMW bracket and the CPAP, that boosted wire connector. That worked out really good. So that I give as a plus. I give that as a pro. Easy mounting options. Again, that's kind of related with the BMW bracket. Easy mounting option to my BMW, and they ship also the ball with a little ram mount and the handlebar. So if you wanted to, you can mount it on anything. So that's a plus. Easy setup. Thank God it's an easy setup because, like I said, the manual is junk. You just follow along. Setting up the Bluetooth is just like setting up any other Bluetooth. Works really well. Setting up, connecting to wireless. Why you would want to connect to wireless, I still am not sure. But connecting to wireless is a breeze. It just sees it. You don't even have to put in a password. So maybe that's a security issue too. Who knows? Lightweight. 7.5 inches screen. I thought that this thing would have been heavier than it was. And I'm a little concerned about that because the way I've got mine mounted, it's mounted up on that horizontal bar, which is on the screen. So the screen itself is kind of like a little bit floppy. And then you've got that bar, plus you've got the RAM mount, the RAM mount arm, adding to the little bit of a floppiness. So as you've seen earlier on in the video, it bounces a little bit. Now, riding down the road on a smooth road, it hardly moves. It has not bounced to the extent that I couldn't read what's on the screen. It moves and you can still read while it's moving. If I were to go off-road with this thing, I would take it off. I would take it off and put it somewhere else and go off-road. It's good for riding on road, even though it's kind of, the way I've got it mounted, it's kind of like bouncing a little bit. I don't think that's a real problem. But definitely the weight of it is light. So if it was heavier than that, if it was, for example, as dense, I think that this thing might be just as heavy. This is my Nav 6. I think the Nav 6 might be just as heavy as the even though it's much smaller, as the Carpuride. And the Nav 6 mounted on that same thing bounces a little bit as well. So lightweight for the Carpuride. That's a thumbs up. And of course, the familiar CarPlay experience is a plus. It's good to have that. From what I could tell, the experience is pretty much the same as in my car. Obviously, I didn't do a review of the Carpuride next to my Golf to see the two CarPlay options and to see how they behave. But from what I remember, it's the same. Now, I did see, looking at some of the reviews on YouTube, I did see that some of them have got different icon arrangements and they have got different icons that are available. That could be due to the firmware or the software that's on the Carpuride unit. Um, I just thought of another con. There is nowhere on the Carpuride website that you can go for support and download the latest firmware. From what I understand, to update the firmware on the Carpuride, you need to put a bin file on the SD card and then stick the SD card into the drive and it'll update. Okay? But how to get that bin file, number one, and without having any kind of a support section on the website for updates, firmware updates, and all of that kind of stuff, I couldn't find it on the website at all. I've heard of other people getting assistance from Carpuride support, whereby they got new firmware software sent to them. But the thing is, it's not publicly posted. And from what I've seen from the different units, the 502B, the 502, the 702, the screens all look, when I'm saying the screens, I'm talking about the home screen, not the CarPlay screen. The home screen of the Carpuride unit itself is different. It's different from the various units that I've seen. And that is not a pro for me. That's, if anything, that's a little bit of a con. So to sum up, after a first look at this unit, what do I think? It's nice to have the CarPlay. I was able to dictate a text. I was able to get my text read back to me. That's nice. That's CarPlay. I was able to make a phone call and receive a phone call. I was able to listen to my music. So overall, and plus, I've got different navigators on the unit, so I can choose which navigator I want. I don't have to stick with just Garmin, which is like a 3.5 out of 5, if that much, in terms of navigation. So, is it a good thing to have? I think so. I think it's a good thing to have. I'm pleased that I got a CarPlay unit, and it complements the dashboard of the Tiger quite nicely, and I think it's a good addition to my bike. Whether at $240, which is what I paid for, another thing that I'm not going to put this as a con against the unit itself, but my experience in buying the thing, when I approached Carpuride and I said, hey, look, I'm interested in your unit. Would you be interested in me doing a review for you? They says, well, we can give you a discount, rather than sending me a unit. I guess I'm not a big enough YouTuber yet. They said, we can give you a discount of 33%, and he used this code. So I went to their website, and I plugged in the code, and there you go, there was the discount, and 33%. But then the browser, Microsoft Shopping or something like that, they popped up a 35% discount. I says, okay, let me try that. I tried that, and it worked. So I was able to get from the browser a bigger discount than what Carpuride was offering me. That's how I ended up paying $240 for this latest version, the 702B Pro that I have. Do I think it's a good value for money? And do I think that just having a CarPlay unit of that size and with these pros and cons that I mentioned, do I think that it's actually worth $240? Nope. I don't think that it's worth $240. They're able to charge $240. Well, they're able to charge whatever the regular price is right now because everybody is hot and bothered to buy these CarPlay units. It's popular right now. They're making money when this thing is hot. And is it a good thing to have? Yes, it's a good thing to have. And yes, you'll pay whatever the market will bear. But is it a $240 or $350 or whatever it costs dollar worth piece of kit? To me, the quality needs to come up. It needs to have a better manual. It needs better support for firmware. It needs, you look at things like, for example, look at this Insta360 Ace Pro. This is an expensive action camera, but when you see the level of quality from where Insta360 started off to the level of quality of where they are now, uh, I feel comfortable having paid close to $500 for that camera, right? I don't feel so comfortable having paid $240. Well, I'm more pleased that I paid $240 as opposed to $350 or whatever the regular price is. So, in terms of value for money, not really. It's not that much of a value for money, truly. Market value, yes, but not overall value for money. So anyway, that's my take on it for a first look for this Carpuride 702B Pro. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I know it's been a little bit of a long video, but hey, I try to give video reviews and comments on equipment that I would like to have myself. There are a lot of questions that I would have that aren't answered in those reviews, and so I'm sorry if it's been a little bit longer, but this is the kinds of reviews I do. Right, I pay good money, my own money for these things that I review, and you get the benefit of that. Even if I am sent something to review, I'm not going to do a review unless I have absolute autonomy in saying what I need to say. Watch out for, I'm going to have another video coming out where I kind of go through all of the different aspects of the screen right here in my office. What I'm talking about, a lot of the things I'm talking about in this video here will be self-evident after you watch that video. And like I said, after I get that little cover for the SD card compartment, I'm gonna put out a video about formatting for FAT32 and if it's actually useful or not. They say that you can put movies on there and whatever, you can store that on your drive. My question would be, my concern would be how to get the thing onto that card. The manual that comes with it does not talk anything about that. Again, useless manual. Okay, so look out for that video as well. That's it for me. Take care. See you in the next one.